the state governments, they are very, very keen that the youth should become entrepreneurs, they should become startups, and they should become the job creators instead of job seekers.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Beyond the Headlines. I'm your host Nazir Ganaie. As far as innovations, startups is concerned, there are many steps that have been taken so far by Government of India and state government, the erstwhile state government, now the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. The Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir is also very keen to start new initiatives, new programs as far as the innovations and incubation centers are concerned. Right now we are in National Institute of Technology in Srinagar, and we are joined by a senior professor here, Dr. Saad Parvez, who has done a remarkable work as far as the innovations and startups and helping the startups is concerned. He has also been very instrumental in creating an ecosystem, a kind of culture in Jammu and Kashmir, especially in Kashmir region, and you have been very keen to give a helping hand to startups. Saad साहब बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका और
Thank you so much.
The kind of work you have done so far in Kashmir. What is your overall understanding about the startups of Kashmir?
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for this interview which you are conducting right now. This is the need of the hour. We need to talk about startups. We need to talk about entrepreneurship. We need to talk about innovations because of the reason that the government jobs, what actually the youth of yesterday had been looking, they are not available. Now we have to look for alternatives, and the Government of India, the government as a whole, the state governments, they are very, very keen that the youth should become entrepreneurs, they should become startups, and they should become the job creators instead of job seekers. So with that initiative, every university of today in India, they have been told that you create an ecosystem or an enabling environment where not only the students within the campus, but outside, the idea generators, the people who have some idea, who have that trust to become startups, they are given some kind of hand-holding, some kind of support. In that context, we also at NIT Srinagar, we started as a national policy. We started the Innovation, Incubation and Entrepreneurship Development Center. We call it as IIED Center in 2016, with the aim to meet the objectives of the government, where we support the idea generators, we support the startups and those who want to do something of their own. So we have been successful in creating that kind of enabling environment, not only in the campus but outside the campus also. A lot of youths are coming to us. We are trying to help them. Especially, I would like to mention that if you have an idea, the basic question, which is what to do with an idea. Previously, there was no support system. So if a youth, a budding entrepreneur, anyone who wants to establish a business, he has an idea, but what to do with an idea? So these incubation centers are the entities which have been established in the whole country, and especially in the universities, in the technical institutions, where they would understand the need of a startup. They would understand that what the idea is and how exactly this journey from mind to market should be undertaken, and how exactly the institutions, the universities and the incubation centers, they become the mentors. The journey of a startup becomes quite easy to meet their logical conclusions. So that was the basic essence of establishing these incubation centers. And we have been doing a good job along with other universities. Like I would definitely like to mention about the SCOS, the IUCT and other universities. They also are into this environment of creating a startup ecosystem in the valley. And then we have been, trying to help the idea generators. Now, a good idea needs finance. It needs mentorship. It needs technical handholding. So NIT Srinagar has been successful to some extent in providing the finance. Initially in 2019, we were successful to obtain, through the government interventions, there's a ministry called as the Ministry of MSME, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise. So we established NIT Srinagar was the first institute in the whole J&K state. We established incubation center of MSME. We call it as MSME incubator. So under that scheme, there was an open pan-India contest where the youths were told to come up with different ideas. And then two ideas were selected at the first stage, in the first year, that was in 2019-20, from NIT Srinagar. And both the innovators were given the support of 15 lakh rupees to develop their ideas. So one beautiful innovation which we helped one innovator called as Tariq Ahmed, he had an idea that our saffron industry which we have in Kashmir, the saffron agriculture, the people actually, the post harvesting was a challenge, like the bunches of saffron which gets collected, they had to manually segregate the saplings, and then they have to do the combing operation, the drying operation and packing operation. This was very cumbersome. So he came with an idea, why shouldn't this be automated?
Okay.
So we rolled out this idea to the ministry, and they were very happy to look at this idea, and then they sanctioned a first grant, the financial support of 15 lakh rupees, and we came up with a beautiful machine. We call it that as a saffron processing machine. It took us about 1.5 years to come up with a beautiful machine which is ready now. The prototype is ready. And then if that machine is, we are looking for commercializing of that machine. If that machine is commercialized, surely the people who are in saffron industry, they would definitely get lot of advantage.
तो जब हम innovators की बात करेंगे, जब हम ideas की बात करते हैं, तो आपको क्या लगता है? Because you have been into this field, you have always been instrumental in ideating things with the government and with the stakeholders also. कितना ज़रूरी है एक इनोवेटर के लिए एक इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर? हमें नाम से लगता है कि एक इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर, ये इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर होता है क्या? हमारे जो देखने वाले हैं या जो आइडिएटर्स है, जो आइडिया जनरेट कर रहे हैं, उनको आप कैसे समझाएंगे कि ये इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर होता है क्या, और इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर में आपके लिए क्या क्या फैसिलिटीज है?
देखिए, इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर इज अ वूम. इसी जब द वर्ड इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर इज फ्रॉम, जब आप एक हैन ले करती है एग्स, उसको एक वार्मथ देना पड़ता है.
बिल्कुल.
उसके ऊपर वो इट सिट्स ऑन द एग्स एंड देन दे आर हैच्ड. तो ये सेम कॉन्सेप्ट है. The idea which you have, as I told you, what to do with an idea. So all those people who have wonderful ideas, who have promising ideas, who have pragmatic ideas, they can approach the incubation center. Incubation center में आपको अलग-अलग support मिलते हैं. The first important support is that you get a co-working space, जहाँ पर आप अपना office setup कर सकते हो. Then you get a financial support also. Okay. Then you get a technical supports also. Then you get networking supports also. ये तमाम supports के idea को एक tangible product or service में convert करना, it's not that easy. There has to be a good support system. Until that support system is not available, आपको technically feasible आपका idea है कि नहीं है, who will tell you? Then commercially it is feasible or not, viable or not, who will tell you? तो ये इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर में जो एक्सपर्ट्स होते हैं, वेदर दे आर फैकल्टी, जो प्रोफेसर्स होते हैं, who belongs, whose specialization is into different technical domain, so then they help you. They give you the crux of the technology. They give you the punch of what kind of machining systems you should go for, what type of technological interventions have to be there, what can be made possible and what cannot be made possible. And then once a prototype is developed, इसकी testing होगी कि ये prototype viable है कि नहीं है, whether it's meeting the requirements of the customers की requirement ये meet कर रहा है कि नहीं होगा. Then we can connect him to the market, जो market forces हैं, because ultimately it's the market which makes a product successful or unsuccessful. तो वहाँ भी incubation centers आपको help करते हैं कि आपके product को किस तरह हम market में ले जाएं. So ये एक overall I'm giving the tip of the iceberg that this is the kind of support system which actually these incubation centers basically provide to the incubators.
साथ साथ यहाँ पे बहुत सारे incubation centers है. If you talk about different universities, so एक idea generator के लिए, एक startup के लिए, which is the best place? Like you are from NIT. There are incubation centers in Kashmir University also. There's an incubation center in SCOST also. So how will an ideator get to this idea कि मेरे को इस incubation center में जाना है? Who is going to identify that person?
It's a very good question which you have asked. You see, basically क्या होता है कि अलग-अलग universities की अलग-अलग strengths होती है. फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू टॉक अबाउट स्कॉस्ट इज अ बिग यूनिवर्सिटी, एग्रीकल्चर यूनिवर्सिटी, so उनकी जो स्ट्रेंथ है, उनका जो थ्रस्ट एरिया है वो डिफरेंट है. दे आर इनटू एग्रीकल्चर साइड, हॉर्टिकल्चर साइड, जो एग्रीकल्चर रिलेटेड टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं, एग्रीकल्चर और हॉर्टिकल्चर और फूड प्रोसेसिंग रिलेटेड टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं, सो दे विल फोकस ऑन दोज टेक्नोलॉजीज. NIT being the technological institute, this is a technically strong institute of the nation. हमारी जो thrust areas हैं, they depend upon our engineering departments. Like तो हमने अपने incubation center को we have divided into 3 broader categories. Classify हमने को किया है 3 heads में. First is the agri-tech. We call it the agri-tech. So all the technologies which are related to agriculture, हॉर्टिकल्चर, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द टेक्नोलॉजीज. जो टेक्नोलॉजीज हमें डेवलप करनी है, जैसे मैंने आपको सैफरन प्रोसेसिंग मशीन के बारे में कहा, तो यहाँ मशीन इज अ टेक्नोलॉजी विच विल डू सम प्रोसेसिंग ऑफ द सैफरन. एंड देन सीड सोइंग मशीन एक दूसरी हमने एक इनोवेट की थी, यू नो, उसका प्रोटोटाइप बनाया था, तो वो भी एग्रीकल्चर रिलेटेड है, बट इट्स अ टेक्नोलॉजी, द मशीन विच एक्चुअली विल यू नो थ्रू द सीड्स. जो सीड्स हैं उनको, उनकी जो सोइंग प्रोसेस है उसमें वो हेल्प करेगी. सिमिलरली फूड प्रोसेसिंग आप ले लीजिए, हॉर्टिकल्चर ले लीजिए, जितनी भी टेक्नोलॉजिकल रिलेटेड इनोवेशंस हैं वो हम यहाँ पर डेवलप करते हैं. द सेकंड इज द एनवायरमेंटल. जो एनवायरमेंटल इश्यूज हैं, दे आर वेरी वेरी कम्बरसम, क्योंकि वी नीड एनर्जी कंजर्वेशंस, वी नीड सस्टेनेबिलिटी इश्यूज आजकल हम बहुत बात कर रहे हैं. वी नीड टू look for the technologies which can help alleviate the climate change. जो फोकस हो रहा है, तो वो टेक्नोलॉजीज हम यहाँ पर डेवलप करते हैं. तो हमारे जो डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं, दे आर आवर स्ट्रेंथ्स. लाइक वी हैव अ chemical engineering department, we have mechanical engineering department, we have electronics and communication department, then we have a civil engineering department. So all the technologies related to those you know engineering branches where we have the experts, जहाँ हमारे professors हैं वो हमारे experts हैं, so they would help the startups to develop their technology.
जब आपके पास एक potential startup आता है, आप उसको list करते हैं, आप उसको identify करते हैं, then you see this has a potential.
Definitely.
And how do you identify it कि इसको हम कितने level तक fund कर सकते हैं, and how much can you fund, so that our startups can know that if we go to this incubation center with some meaningful startup, we can get funded till this extent. What is the amount that you can actually give to that startup? And is there any startup that you are right now funding, which is doing really well?
So initially, as I told you, जहाँ तक funding का सवाल है, तो NIT Srinagar or any university would not have their own funds apportioned for developing technologies. ठीक है, we are into research, we are into innovation. There are a lot of research activities going on. We have PhD students also here, जिनके लिए funding government of India से आती है. बट एक नए आइडिया को डेवलप करना और उसको मार्केट तक ले जाना, जो उसमें फंडिंग यूज होती है, सो वी हैव टू लुक फॉर schemes. There are a lot of schemes which government of India has basically floated. एक जैसे मैंने आपको कहा था कि MSME की स्कीम, MSME की 2 स्कीम्स हमारे पास हैं. NIT Srinagar IIT Center has 2 schemes. One we call as the incubation scheme, जहाँ पर per idea the government is giving you 15 lakh rupees of support. तो ये 15 lakh support है, it is right from developing the idea in your mind, converting it into conceptual designs, converting it into engineering designs, and then converting these engineering designs into prototypes, POCs पहले, proof of concepts, and then making the prototypes. इसमें जितना पैसा यूज होता है, और इस प्रोसेस में you know there are some mentorships, there are some experts जो कहीं भी अवेलेबल है इंडिया में. They can help you. उनकी ऑनरेरियम्स वगैरह या हमारे जो प्रोफेसर्स हैं वो आपको हेल्प करते हैं. जो भी पैसा यूज होता है, मटेरियल्स आपने खरीद के लाने हैं, एनर्जी कॉस्ट होती है, एंड यू वांट टू टेक इट टू सम अदर यूनिवर्सिटी, अदर यू नो इंडस्ट्रीज आल्सो. सो वो सारा पैसा जो है वो इस 15 लाख का एक पार्ट है, टिल अ वर्किंग प्रोटोटाइप इज डेवलप्ड एंड टेस्टेड. यानी कि एक टेंजिबल प्रोडक्ट आपका तैयार हो गया. दिस इज द फर्स्ट स्टेज ऑफ डेवलपिंग. देन again coming to the funding support, as I was about to tell you that NIT Srinagar has again successfully obtained a grant from Government of India, Department of Science and Technology, and we have established another incubation center. The पहला incubation center था, that was MSME incubation center. So this is a Greennovator Incubation Foundation, GIF, which is a Section 8 company. Section 8 company, I can tell you why now. There's a support from the government, from the Ministry of Education also, to establish such companies, Section 8 companies or societies also. And then हमारा जो बेसिक GIF का मैंडेट है वो ये है कि एक पोटेंशियल स्टार्टअप को जिसके पास एक अच्छा सा आइडिया है, and the idea should be good, because there are ideas now, but how do we actually check the ideas is that हम इसको evaluate करते हैं कि इस आइडिया में कितना पोटेंशियल है, not only from the technical viewpoint but also from the market commercial viewpoint. अगर हमें लगता है कि ये एक सोसाइटी की या कस्टमर्स की कोई प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व कर रहा है ये आइडिया in terms of when you convert this idea into a product or a service and it has a good scope of expansion, दो चीजें बहुत important होती हैं. One we call as a scalability and the second we call as a sustainability. So if this idea has a potential to sustain in the market in the cutthroat competition which we have, and then it could be scaled up. Say for example, एक साल आपने 1 करोड़ की सेल्स की, next year you go for 2 crores and scalable idea है या इसमें diversification possible है, तो that is how exactly we assess the ideas. कि वो ideas जो हमें लगता है या हमारी जो committee होती हैं, we have very expert committees with members from the industries also, from the startup ecosystems also, from the government also, from the academy also. So ये एक assess करते हैं इस idea को कि इस idea में कितना potential है. And then say there are 100 ideas which are pitched, there are 3 or 4 or 5 potential ideas को हम select करके अपने incubation center में support देते हैं.
साहब अगर हम ये कहेंगे कि आपको critically analyze करना है startup ecosystem of Kashmir, what are the lacunas, what are the bottlenecks that you see should be cleared?
देखिए इसमें सबसे पहला जो the seriousness of the startup, I would put it this way, कि how serious, how much fire in the belly the startup has, because ultimately success और failure जो होता है वो incubation centers पर ज़्यादा depend नहीं होता है, वो एक startup, एक entrepreneur कि वो कितना serious है अपने idea को लेकर. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, जो lacunas हैं, shortcomings जैसे आपने कहा, एक financial support systems जहाँ पर हमारे पास अगर आप देखेंगे बाहर we have VCs, venture capitalists हैं, या जो लोग फंड करना चाहते हैं, जो लोग आपको पैसा देना चाहते हैं, and then the people who are ready to invest in your idea, उनकी कमी हमें है. एंजल इन्वेस्टर्स हो गया, VCs हैं, तो एक वो अभी वो सेटअप नहीं है. एंड देन मार्केटिंग सपोर्ट, अभी हमें वी डोंट हैव प्लेयर्स फ्रॉम द मार्केट हु वुड रियली लाइक टू सपोर्ट दिस स्टार्टअप्स. सो गवर्नमेंट इंटरवेंशन इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, जो अब पिछले कुछ सालों से बहुत ज़्यादा सपोर्ट गवर्नमेंट कर रही है स्टार्टअप्स को लेकर और एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप डोमेन को लेकर. एंड आई होप दैट द फ्यूचर इज़ वेरी वेरी ब्राइट, बिकॉज नए बच्चे आ रहे हैं, पीपल नो दैट jobs are not available, they need to do something, they need to create value. एक value proposition बहुत बन रहा है, and then this is how exactly the shortcomings, और जो future requirements हैं इन startups को nurture करने के लिए वो बहुत important हैं. So I would summarize it in this way. एक government का support system, industrial involvement, जो हमारी MSMEs हैं उनका involvement, and जो financial institutions हैं उनका involvement, और बच्चे का सीरियसनेस होना, दैट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट.
सर साहब आखिर पर मेरा एक बहुत ही अहम सवाल ये भी है, अगर हम रिपोर्ट देखें, नीति आयोग की रिपोर्ट देखें, मिनिस्ट्रीज की रिपोर्ट देखें, जम्मू एंड कश्मीर इज़ फार बिहाइंड इन startups and innovations, and we are even far behind than the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Why this is happening? I mean, is it because of the non-seriousness of the system, or is it because we are not able to create that culture yet?
देखिए, culture तो slowly create हो रहा है. As I told you in the beginning कि this is a new baby. 4-5 साल ही हो गए हमारी यूनिवर्सिटीज, they have become serious, they have established the incubation center. NIT श्रीनगर जो इतना पुराना इंस्टीट्यूट है 1962 में एस्टैब्लिश हुआ था. IID सेंटर तो अभी 2016-17 में एस्टैब्लिश हुआ. And then against all odds, COVID आ गया बीच में, फिर आर्टिकल का मसला आ गया. So but still universities are coming forward. हम जाते हैं बच्चों के पास, हम बच्चों को इनवाइट करते हैं. We conduct idea hackathons and we tell people to come forward. And I'm sure that in the coming days, because people know now that there's a support system from the government. आपको institutions, universities एक support system दे रही हैं. So I'm sure that I have been, for the last 4 or 5 years, hundreds of students have approached me, hundreds of idea generators have approached me, and I'm sure that once these young minds become serious, ये खुद जब serious हो जाएंगे, एक wave यहाँ पर जल्दी आने वाली है. I'm sure that there are more and more people who would be entrepreneurs, and then जो economic augmentation होगी, एक social upliftment होगी, वो startups और incubators और entrepreneurship के through ही होगी, और there is no other way. कोई और ऐसा रास्ता नहीं है जहाँ एक economic revolution, social upliftment हो पाए. I think this is the only way, and we all have to be serious. As institutions we have to be serious, as universities we have to be serious, as government we have to be serious. अगर हम अपने कश्मीर की बात करें, एनर्जी की प्रॉब्लम है, हीटिंग की प्रॉब्लम है, पोल्यूशन की प्रॉब्लम है, वेस्ट मैनेजमेंट की प्रॉब्लम है, and then why do we expect that some Tata Birla is going to come and solve these problems? No, we as individuals have to solve this problem ourselves. So we have to come up with great ideas. We have to come up with great ideas. Once those ideas are nurtured in incubation centers like ours or other industries, then the economic augmentation, the economic boost जो वो होगा, और तरक्की होगी और लोग आगे चलेंगे.
I think this is the takeaway to all of us, that we don't have to be afraid of failures. We have to just ideate. We have to just enter into that pool, enter into that culture, and start ideating, start innovating, and start generating great ideas and create this knowledge into the wealth. साथ साथ बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, आपने बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन भी किया, और आई थिंक ये जो स्टार्टअप्स है उनको बहुत ज़्यादा फायदा इससे होगा. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया.
थैंक यू.